If you're thinking about moving across the state or across the country, there's lots of things to consider, and that's what this video is all about. Keep watching to learn the 9 questions to ask that'll absolutely make your move easier. Be sure to stick around to the end when I share a real game-changing tip. It'll make all the difference in the world. Number 1, why do you want to move? Understanding your motivation is huge. Whether it's for family, for opportunity, or it's just time for something new, your why needs to be clear. If it's for a new job, is it because of higher pay, or is it because you think you'll like the job better? Think twice about moving for more pay if you don't love the job. The allure of more dollars wears off way quicker than you might think. The reason I know this is because I've made that mistake personally. A bigger paycheck didn't change how I felt going into work every day, and I hated it. It didn't last. If you're moving to be closer to family, have you asked them what they think about it? Sometimes grandparents move for their grandkids only to find out their grandkids are so busy with school, sports, and all their friends, they don't have much time left for Mima and Papa. Again, ask me how I know. You might find out it's better just to travel a couple of times a year to go see them. In any case, double check your motives. A move like that can change the course of the rest of your life. Hey, if you like what you're seeing so far, I've made a lot of real estate videos on how to buy, sell, and relocate, and if that's what you want, then welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you have more specific questions, my contact information is below. I'd love it if you send me an email, a text, or just give me a call. Talk to you soon. Number 2, what's the cost of living? If your reason for moving is to save money, this will be your number 1 question. If you're moving for family or work, it'll be part of a bigger question, which is, I want to move to fill in the blank. The question is, can I afford living there? There's lots of great resources online to help you see the comparative cost of living from one city to another. Just Google cost of living comparisons. NerdWallet and Bankrate are 2 really good sites. I've used them myself. But please take it from someone who's not only done it, but helped hundreds of people do it as well. Money is just part of the equation. Housing is probably going to be the most impactful concern going in, whether you're buying or renting. If you're moving from a high-dollar area, Southern California might be a good example. Almost anywhere you move to will cost you less, so that's going to be a fairly easy question to answer. But if you're not moving from California, there's 2 questions. First, is the housing affordable? Which these days is a super hot button question. And second, are the affordable homes there a good comparison to where you're living now? In other words, can you be comfortable there? Here's what I'm saying. If you're used to a 2,500 square foot home with plenty of bedrooms, plenty of family space, and a home office as well, moving to a 1,500 square foot house with less family space and no home office would be a tough adjustment. If moving is a requirement, just be ready for that kind of compromise. If moving is an option, this kind of compromise is optional. I guess that's probably too obvious to state, but there it is. The next question is food, fuel, and taxes. If your work is at a distance, gas might be an issue. Generally speaking, food costs, though, don't have a huge impact overall. When it comes to taxes, there's 9 states with no income taxes. The property taxes vary from place to place, so take that on a case-by-case basis. For me personally, moving to a no-income tax state, though we didn't do that on purpose, was and continues to be a major plus. Honestly, every year I say a quiet yes when I get to the skip right on by the state taxes part. Number 3, what's the job market like? Unless you're retired or independently wealthy, finding a job where you plan to be moving is going to be a big deal. If your destination is based on family, it is what it is, but some research will at least tell you what you're getting into. If you're moving to improve your quality of life, you've got a ton of options out there, seriously. Just Google best job markets in the U.S. Indeed and WalletHub are good sites to visit. Here's a tip. Don't jump at the first opportunity that comes along because there are tons of jobs available these days. What I'm saying is, don't settle. Number 4, are there good schools? If you have kids, this will probably be a game changer. If you don't, remember homes in good school districts not only hold on to their value, but increase more quickly as well. You can go to greatschools.net to find out the ratings of any school in the nation. They grade schools by test scores, student progress, college readiness, and more. In particular, the student progress rating is excellent. I think you'll love it. Hey, if you like this video so far, please hit subscribe and tap the bell so you'll be the first to learn as markets change in Middle Tennessee. Number 5, what's the crime rate like? Because I have a license, I can't share my opinions on crime, but I can absolutely tell you how to find out more about it. A city's crime rate, especially now, has a huge bearing on a lot of people moving to a new city. Keep in mind that larger cities might have problem areas that skew the results that are on the news, and they make the whole city seem worse than it really is. But that's for you to decide. That is exactly why I can't have an opinion. Google a city name and then the phrase crime map. Each of us has to determine our tolerance level, and this is a start. I think you'd benefit by talking to someone who lives where you're researching. Look for a Facebook group or something like that. I've discovered things don't always appear in real life like what the headlines seem to say. Number 6, what's the political climate like? For some, this may be a major determining factor whether or not to move somewhere. And the truth is, the only way I know to get a feel for this is by talking with those who live where you're planning to go. Just like with the crime question. You can do online research to find red and blue cities, but that isn't always helpful. For example, I live in Williamson County, Tennessee, a red county in a very red state, but Nashville is as blue as the ocean. I'll say it again, find a way to chat with people that live where you want to go. Use Facebook or Reddit, or the best way of all, visit in real life and talk to face with people. You'll get your answers quickly and clearly. People love to share their opinions. Here's a pro tip. The most vocal among those you communicate with may or may not represent the city well. They may have their own agenda. Don't California my Tennessee might ring a bell. They're trying to screen you out. I have discovered that most negative groups are usually in the minority. Just my 2 cents. Number 7, are you an indoor or an outdoor person? Do you stay inside mostly, or are you active outdoors with camping, hiking, boating? One of the main reasons people move is because of the climate. The southern states are always popular because of the weather. When you're researching a place, be sure to include parks and green space in your questions. There's really 2 types of green space. One is parks, kept groomed by the city, and the other is just open space. I'm from Colorado, and you could go to a nice park, play on the swings, or start walking on a trailhead and end up completely lost in the mountains and later found on the 5 o'clock news. Big difference. Indoors, outdoors, big space, parks. Number 8, what negative things are you hearing? Some cities just flat out have a bad rep. You hear it on the news all the time, but some places are stuck with a reputation that they may or may not deserve. The reason I've included this question is when I first thought about moving to Nashville, Tennessee, I had heard everyone was super country and most were rednecks, whatever that means. But when I visited in person, I found out that could not have been further from the truth. Are there country-sounding folks with backwoods mentalities? Yes, but there's plenty of those in Colorado too. The people here are warm and friendly and never came close to my hee-haw imaginings. Whatever you might hear that turns you off, it's really your job to find out if it's true, which leads me to the final question. Number 9, when you visit the city, do you like the way it feels? Yes, this question implies a visit to the city. This question is an absolute game changer. This is the one I mentioned at the very beginning. If you have family, this is a given. You've been there before. Your "can I live here" questions, they're already answered. If it's not family, then your options are truly wide open. After you've answered the other questions, the fastest and best way to see if a new city would be a good fit is to go and stay for a few days. Remember, this isn't a vacation per se. You're going to imagine what it'd be like to live, work, and play in someplace new to you. Talk to as many people as possible when you're there. Find others who have moved in from out of town. In my opinion, those are the very best resources. If you can ask these 9 questions and any others you have personally in a positive way, you may have found a new home. What I can tell you is I've helped lots of people move here to Nashville who had zero knowledge about this place. We went through this discovery process, and after their move, they found this area is a wonderful place that they now call home. If you like this video, I hope you'll share it. If you're thinking about moving this way, I'd love it if you reach out to me. My contact info is in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.